of AI in estimating construction projects. Over to you, Olu.
Okay. Good day, everyone. I'm here to talk about the implementation of AI in estimation construction projects. One, I will need to start by the construction industry, especially for small business facing a numerous challenge in accurate cost estimation and project management. Traditional method that they adopt is time-consuming, error, and difficulty to scale. The research we aim to develop an AI model integrated into the WordPress platform, providing construction business with a plugin that can automate and simplify cost estimation in the process. By this, I will need to move to my introduction aspects of the research, which the introduction that said about the cost is one of the critical factors influencing the success of a construction project, especially small business often struggle with the complexity and time demand of traditional high costs. The time to get their quotes and the estimation used to affect the smaller construction company projects. That's why I'm now implementing this AI, introducing it to the plugin for the estimation of costs of all projects. By this, I will go to my literature review. The objectives of the study. The objectives of the study is to develop a scalable and user-friendly platform for instant quoting. So that this means that a friendly user platform that everybody will be able to use to access. And the second one is to leverage AI technology like machine learning, natural language process for accurate costing. That means it will be used to all languages. We can switch to different languages by leveraging so that the language process will be accurate and prediction. And the third one is to analyze market potential and adoption strategy for the platform so that they can get the accurate cost of the accurate projects. It will not be more and it will not be lesser. That's just this. By this, I will talk about the literature review. That means the critical and comprehensive survey, the literature review. One of it is improvement efficiency and reduce error. That's one. And the second one is reducing the time and effort needed for the budgets. That's the critical and comprehensive survey of the research, which is the literature review. And in furthermore, I will go forward to talk about the machine learning, the cost estimation. The machine learning is a cost subset of AI that revolutionizes the cost estimation by enabling the system learn from historical data. That means to say it helps us to learn from the data that we collected from the markets and the data that the user puts in. That's why we say that the WordPress is a widely used content management system, offering a flexible platform for developing custom plugin. By this, I will move forward to talk about the methodology. I have four methodology. One methodology is the systematic approach of the research, which is methodology. We have one, model developments. Two, I have my WordPress plugin development, and the three, testing and evaluation, and the last one, the user feedback. I will talk about the model plugin. A machine learning model will be trained using historical data on the construction project to predict cost based on the inputs such as project size, material, and labor. That's about the model development. I'll talk about the WordPress plugin in development. The WordPress plugin is a custom plugin we integrating the AI model The plugin will allow users to input the project data and easy to use the interface and receive the instant quoting. Example, if you want to, build a 3-bedroom flat, as you just enter the 3-bedroom flat, it will be able to give you the plugin will allow you to input the project and the data very easy. From there, you can get your quoting, the price, and everything. That's the WordPress plugin, the project. And the third one is the testing and evaluation. The plugin will be tested with real-world data from small construction business to evaluate accuracy, usability, and impact on the time saving. It will help us in the time saving. And the last one, which is the user feedback. The user feedback will be tested. The feedback will be collected from the small construction business to refine the plugin and ensure in meeting their needs. That's the user feedback. By then, I will now move forward to the strategic planning tools. The strategic planning tools, which is the SWOT analysis. The strategic planning is to the SWOT analysis, where I have strength, we have weakness, I have opportunity, and I have strengths. I would like to talk about the strengths. In strengths, we have the increase in the efficiency, we have the improved accuracy, and we have accessibility. Under the strength, increased efficiency, the AI model can significantly reduce the time required for estimate. That's under the increase in efficiency and improving accuracy. By leveraging historical data, the model can provide accurate and reliable cost estimation. By then, I'll move to the weakness. I'm going to move to the weakness. The weakness, which is the opposite of strengths. Under the weakness, we have data dependency. Data dependency is the model accuracy rely on the quality and quantity of historical data available. For small business, we have a limit data affecting the model performance. That's under the weakness. And under this, I still have another one, the technical barrier. When I talk about the technical barrier, this is WordPress user-friendly, integrating an AI plugin still poses challenges for non-technical user. In the process whereby non-technical user will not be able to use the plugin. That's what I refer to about the technical barrier. Another one is the opportunity. The opportunity, we have the market expansion. Under this market expansion, AI become more mainstream in the construction. There is a growing opportunity to create a small business. That means the market expansion. Under the opportunity, we have scalability. The scalability, the model can be adopted for large construction projects or other sector in the future. And the last one, the opposite of the opportunity, which is threat, I have competition and rapid technology change. Competition and rapid technology change. The competition, a large firm may be eventually adopt a similar AI solution, making challenging for the plugin in maintaining a competitive edge. That's about the competition. And the next one now, I will now move I will move to the mode of data collection. The mode of data collection, we have the source data collection. I have historical project data, market database, and user feedback. Under the historical project data, we collect data from the public or any small construction company that they are looking for the quoting. Instead of using the manual method, we collect data from them and we input it into the plugin. That one will give us the accurate estimation for the project. Under the market database, before the software can be work accurately, we need to get the accurate market price of all the materials. That will be updated in the software plugin. And another one is the user feedback. We need to be receiving the feedback from the user, the advantage and disadvantage, so that the software can be maintained. I will move on again to, under this, I have my, after data collection, I will move to use this user interface. User interface. Under the user interface, there will be a design principle. Design principle and easy of user interaction layout. Use of under the design principle, there will be, and the plugin user interface is a critical adoption. The design, there will be a design flow charts that's going to go from product via authentication, login, and down. That's how the user interface is going to be. And from there, we have easy user, we have accessibility, we have input form from the project certification, we have real-time cost estimation updates, and we have interactive dashboard to visualize cost breakdown, testing. And the last one, we have the testing of conduct, usability testing with small construction business owner to refine the interface. On the other hand, I have another one. We have the delivery method. The delivery method of the research. The delivery method, we have the market channel. We have the WordPress marketplace and the construction forum. We have the email campaigning targeting small business and user education. And we have is host webinar to demonstrate the plugin feature. Under the market channel, we advertise the software by the distribution of the questionnaire. They like the questionnaire to get the feedback, how people have they heard about the AI, using AI in the construction company for estimates. We do that. And the WordPress marketplace construction forum, we do that on WordPress. We will log in. We create a platform on the WordPress, the software to be logged in. And another one, user education. We educate people on how to use this software in the long run. And the conclusion, the integration of the AI into the small construction business can help democratize access to technology and improve efficiency. In the long run, it improves the efficiency of the cost estimation and the work. That's it, sir. Any questions, sir?
Like always, if I may ask a question, very interesting presentation, Olutoyin. And I saw your plugin, it was just impressive. I can't describe it the way it deserves to be described. But back to your presentation, where you mentioned that this AI platform is able to get the market trends, is able to retrieve historical data using an API that is embedded in a WordPress platform. I'm not quite familiar with the API systems. Is it something like, just from my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, is it a kind of connection between two servers that they communicate, and like your WordPress plugin is going to retrieve data from, let's say, Alibaba or Amazon.com or any other local suppliers, and based on that, it would create a market trend?
Okay. Okay, the WordPress plugin is going to only design for the estimation. Design for the estimation. You can only get it for estimating of construction projects.
Yeah, I was just curious to know how the API works. I'm not familiar with API. If you can explain a bit more about what is an API, it would be appreciated.
Come again, sir.
an API, as you mentioned, compatibility with WordPress through an API. I was just curious, what is an API?
Okay, the compatibilities that is software is going to design, which I'm currently working on it. Under the software is going to be used for all the country, the naira, the pounds, the dollar, so that everybody can be used anywhere. And the software will now be installed on the plugin. That's what will be used for the estimation. That's the
if I may,
compatibility.
if I may come in here, yeah. So I think in order to have an historical data from your presentation, we assume that you are building a technology to solve for manual quoting. So if you have small construction business, they are doing manual quoting, and you're going to make a reference of historical data, somehow that won't be feasible because everything is manual. They don't have any compute system that is hosting the quoting that they are doing. So, and neither you'll be able to also go to all
Sorry,
the,
Emmanuel, but I guess there
yeah.
are some websites that have these data, like online stores. So, for example, in Australia, we have Bunnings, if I'm right, Sofian. It's like a really large supermarket that sells building products, even online. And it's only specializing mainly in building products. So if Olutoyin's WordPress plugin is able to capture those data, it can be somehow relevant to just the material part of the things. But like, yeah, as you mentioned, everything is done manually as a small construction business. Yeah, the labor cost is a challenge because business to business, it really varies.
Yeah, so I wanted to arrive at saying that if there is a consolidated system or a large market that literally do, for instance, there may be a POS that keeps records of all the sales made. And at the end of the day, it's all being itemized, the component that you have. So there may be a sort of database or a system that is hosting the quotations, or even if it is manual. Now with the API, with the plugins, it can be developed. So all that you need to do is to develop I mean, you have to put in a lot of work because at the end of the day, you're going to integrate it and feed it into the WordPress system. But there isn't a plugin in WordPress that is developed specifically to allow an integration to the system if they are also not subscribing to the same plugin. It means that your plugin, you need to have a private plugins or an API developed in order to intentionally integrate it with the large market and feed it into your system or integrate it with your system. If not that, then if manual is being done in books, papers, then it's very hard or difficult for you to get historical data. You rather have to start afresh by starting from small, by allowing them to start using it. As he mentioned about training them. So you train your client how to use the tool, and then gradually you start getting the large data. So the AI model here would be LLM, that's large logical language, which you're going to use it to now understand the kind of data that you have. And then you grow that data. And as you grow that data, now you start now making a decision on that. If with a machine learning using a decision tree, then you're now able to get your flow chart, deciding on how they're going to get the data. But if your historical data is done on paper or record books somewhere stored in the shelves, it will be difficult for you to now go into each and then collect that data and intentionally punch into the system, it's going to be a lot of work. But rather, you need to give them a prototype or something for them to start working so that you can start feeding into the system. And then you know that you have data. Right. So our end here is a bit dicey.
This might
Any
sound
other question?
really silly because obviously I don't know much about like the analytics and stuff. But I was going to say with what you were saying, Emmanuel, about like if you didn't have the actual data and then you'd have to like punch in old stuff, is there a potential way to take, for example, one example that's actually been done and then have AI like take that and kind of formulate things similar to kind of like replicate or like mirror what would actually like real data? Would that be bad to do that, or like could you do something like that, for example, where
That would that may not give you an accurate data, because if you take one, the AI is going to give you some isolation data, because it may do some hallucination, like an assumption, thinking maybe like you pick, let's say, the size of, let's say, a block, and it's about 5 inches. And you're going to work on another project that require about hollow blocks, and it's 6 inches block. You have the AI doesn't have that data unless it's being integrated into an existing construction database or system that has that data. If it has that data, then that is easy for the AI to learn. So the AI is about the data, what the large data that you have fed into it. For instance, now Google has every data. Google has every data. So Facebook can feed onto Google. You know, for instance, Microsoft, Apple, they all pay Google for data. And if you do a research on that, you realize that they all pay Google for data, because all the queries, searching for people, searching for solutions, and trying to get answers from Google. Google is storing all that raw data. So Google has every data to give you a response. But at the point where you don't, you put in some strings of information onto Google and there's no data, Google won't give you a response to that. And I believe you all know that. If I put in some raw numbers or some different strings with some
frozen?
large data, that can give you that responses. So you must make sure that you allow, you give access to your client to start feeding into the system, and then you grow your data. Once you grow your data, then you now start getting the accuracy of the responses when the query from the AI.
So you could essentially, like, I guess, do like if what you're saying, it has to be like based on something, obviously not just one example, but if you say like you could gather like 100, then would that sort of just like would that be a good base to like start it off, or like for him, for Olutoyin, if he wanted to like how many do you think he would need, like example wise, in order for it to be accurate? Like
Yeah. Even if you can bring it down to like when you give birth to a new baby, that is how AI is. You know, when you say that go and then your baby learn to go, now you need to teach your baby how to come. If you want to train your baby how to eat, you need to teach your baby how to wash his hands and that. And from there, your baby learn to understand a lot of things. That is how AI is. So the AI need to be trained. If you don't train it, it will give you an hallucination. It will just give you any data, try to copy someone data and then give it to you. And that might not be the kind of data that you're working on. So you may only have a template or an idea to look on. But if you want your accurate data, your own data that has been collectively gathered from your customers or your client side, then you have to allow them to start feeding in the data, and from there you'll be able to analyze those data when you are making the quotation. So you are making the quotation. But the moment you enter, because the AI learns that these materials have already been fed into the system, and it can able to give you the rough estimate that you're looking for.
I understand. Well, thank you, Manuel, and obviously Olutoyin, for that wonderful presentation. I think it's really cool. So yeah, really interested on that one. All right, so let me just open this one. Up next, we have Tanaya Chifumuro, and she will be talking about automatic sorting machine for construction and demolition waste recycling. Over to you, Tanya.